Hey, you guys, come on in, come on in, come on in. I just love that song that I found on the YouTube. Copyright free music. I'm gonna find a way to get my intro set up. I'm gonna talk to Billie Jean because she told me to hit her up whenever I'm ready, and that is the song that I want to be on my intro. So now. But anyway, come on in, everybody. Make sure y'all hit the like button on your way in. Share this video out if you like. No pressure, no pressure. And if you are not subscribed to my channel yet, please hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can receive all the notifications every time I go live. But you said I need to show me how to add my chat. Just lovely. Oh, okay. You know what? It's pretty easy to put your chat on there. You just basically go to, let me see, let me open another screen so I can, okay, on your actual video on YouTube, when you're going live or when you're setting up your OBS, you just click on the three little prongs above the chat. And then when you click on it, it says pop out chat, and you click on pop out chat, and then you just copy the link that's above the pop out chat, and then you post it in OBS. It's easy. I'll give you more detailed information later. Cause see, I can do it just off the top of my head because I'm just used to doing it. But yeah, it can be a little bit, difficult if you don't know what you're doing. But yes, come on in, please. Make sure you hit the like button. Everybody in the chat. We're going to discuss what's been going down on these YouTube streets. You know how it goes. I've been watching stuff play out regarding VS and Seven Stars. I love saying her name, Seven Stars. Since last night, and I guess a lot of you guys have too, because a lot of people have been doing commentary on it. And I just finished watching a little bit of Olivia the Oracle, her commentary on it, and I knew she was going to be doing commentary on it because her and Seven been kind of going back and forth, so I knew she was going to do some commentary on it. So I watched everything that Susie did before she I don't know if she privated the video, or I'm assuming she privated it instead of deleting it like she normally does sometimes. But I didn't even think she was going to do that, because during the live, she was like, I'm leaving this up. She said she wasn't going to cuss on the chat, or no cussing in the chat or something, because she said she's leaving it up. So I just assumed that she was going to leave the live up. But then when I went to look later, the live was gone. So I'm assuming that she, just put it on private. But a lot of people already saw the live, and if you didn't see the live, you didn't heard about it. Or heard like the gist of what's going on. And some people is like taking sides here, and y'all know me, I'm pretty neutral. I just basically talk about what we see out here. So I'm not going to condemn anybody on either side, because both of these ladies have been involved in beefs before on YouTube, and we done seen what both of them have done on YouTube. And it's usually a lot of tit for tat that goes on YouTube. Like, okay, you dox somebody dox you, or you dox somebody and they dox you back. It seems like it keeps going on and going on, just keep, rotating like that. But basically, we know what VS was trying to do, and I guess that was trying to shame Seven. And from what I'm hearing from Seven, and from, what a lot of other people think, Seven ain't shamed. Seven is not shamed. She is not shamed. Um, I guess she tried to out Seven, or what Seven went through. And again, I'm not trying to judge either one of them. I'm not trying to bash either one of them. I'm just talking on how I feel about what happened and what basically happened as far as Susie goes. And also the phone number, the lines is open. Let me matter of fact, the phone number is up there. Let me turn the lines on so you guys can call in. Ooh, let me put my speaker on the charger. But sorry, I'm just putting the speaker on the charger. If I can find the cord. Okay, plug the cord up. So if anybody wants to call in, please feel free to call in, because I'm going to be taking calls. Okay, the phone lines are on. Yes, they are on. So back to what I was getting at as far as oh, did I say hi to everybody in the chat? I'm just rambling. Excuse me. Hey, Black Butterfly, just lovely. Y'all know that's not me. I normally say hi to everybody in the chat. So I apologize for not acknowledging you guys. I apologize. But yeah, so as far as what she was trying to do, as far as VS, it seemed like she was just trying to expose her. Hold on 1 second. Hello? Okay, make sure I didn't have nobody on the phone. Like, I got it turned down because it be beeping, like beep, beep. So I don't want to have it playing all out. But matter of fact, let me pull up my app so I can see when people is on the phone real quick. Let's see. Conference. Oh, and one thing that I heard Olivia say several times on her live while I'm pulling up the conference app, I heard her say several times on her live that, oh God, I'm trying to remember exactly word for word what she said. I might be a little bit off, but basically she was saying, don't go digging graves if you're not digging a grave for yourself, or deeper for yourself, or other people is going to dig you graves. Y'all know how that saying goes. I can't remember the exact way that she said it, but basically I think what Olivia was saying was, Seven, a lot of people saying you done dox people, you done went behind outside of YouTube, trying to find out information on other people. And so, this is like karma coming back around, to serve you up something. That's what, a lot of people are saying as far as 7 stars. But as far as exposing 7 stars, I mean, okay, what did we find out? I mean, she did come from a family that was pretty messed up. Like a lot of us. We got a lot of people, who have people in their family. Some of us might not admit it. I and some people are not ashamed to admit certain things, like, okay, we got like crackheads, we got alcoholics. I even have murderers in my family. I mean, I done told y'all before, like, the majority of my family, like, no joke, the majority on my side, on my dad's side, on my stepdad's side, I mean, they was either Bloods or Crips growing up. That's who we were surrounded by. And we had the old heads. I mean, I'm talking from young to like in the 40s and 50s, still out there thugging like they young. Like you can't tell them they ain't still no gangbanger. I got a murderer in my family, and if anybody's watching and they're in my family, they know exactly who I'm speaking of. He is now a pastor. He is now a pastor. So, one thing, that I didn't quite agree with Olivia, what she was saying, was generational curses. Because although we have murderers in our family, we have drug addicts, we have abusers, we have, oh my God, we have a lot of what a lot of people have in their own family, domestic violence, all kind of stuff like that. But then there's a lot of us who came from that, and we okay. We okay. Our children okay. We got kids in college, kids with good jobs, kids paying for the top schools, all kind of stuff like that. So as far as like the general cursing go, I think that was a little bit much. You said, I'm sorry, I don't watch any of those people. Well, I watch a lot because I be trying to keep up with what's going on. I do reviews on TV shows, and I also do my little commentary on what be going down on these YouTube streets. But I don't blame you. A lot of people don't watch VS. A lot of people can't stand VS. There's people that don't like 7 Stars either. And there's people that don't like Olivia, the Oracle. But what she did, like, exposing the fact that 7 might not be the age that she told everybody she was. She might not didn't grow up exactly how a lot of people perceived. When it comes to stuff like that, how many people do you know? I mean, we even see this on TV, movies, where people will grow up around certain things, or they will have certain traumas in their life, and when they get older, they might not say, I was really raised in such and such, or I really went to this school, or I really went to this, because it's like some things you just want to keep hidden, and again, 7 and VS, they done both, went outside of YouTube on somebody. I can't tell you who done the most or who's done the worst or who's the worst between those two. They call VS the demon. They call her the beast. I do know that. And when I was watching VS live, she had mentioned, she was like, I guess somebody was in the live trying to tell her to go to another YouTube channel so she can see something else that's been posted about VS's auntie or mother or something. And VS was up there talking about, if I'm going to be demonized, y'all make sure that I put this out first. This did not come out first. We did this at such and such time. My people behind the scenes sent me this at such and such time. So if I put this out, if I'm going to be demonized, then give me my due. Give my team they props and all this kind of stuff. And I'm up here like, okay. I guess that's what they mean when they say some people be trying to have, that newspaper hit the stands before any other newspaper, had a tea get served before anybody else's tea. That's obviously what she was trying to do. But as far as it reacting, I honestly think what Susie did, no matter how you look at it, VS, whatever y'all want to call her, the beast, whatever, no matter how you look at it, I think she probably draw more fans to 7. Because a lot of people, regardless of what 7 did, a lot of people is feeling sorry for her. There's people making videos about it, and people saying pray for 7, and Nicole Tyler made a pray for 7, come to Jesus video, and S. Hutchinson, I saw 7 stars, thank her because she appreciated what S. Hutchinson did as far as S. Hutchinson, I love her. She's very transparent, and she puts her, she puts her own tea out there, for better, lack of words. But she puts her own tea out there. So she was, talking this morning. She was like, okay, yeah, so Seven got this in her family, that in her family. My dad killed somebody. He killed 2 people. And let's see, I got this person in jail. I got, like, me personally, like, for real. I mean, every year growing up, it was like, where's such and such? Oh, they in jail again. Where's such and such? Oh, they in jail again. Where's such? Oh, he just got out and whatchamacallit went in. Oh, he just got out and whatchamacallit go in. I mean, for as long as I can remember, I could tell people quicker who was in prison in my family than who was on the streets. That's how much, our family was set up like that. It is nothing to brag about. What I'm saying is, if somebody were to do their investigations on a lot of other people on YouTube, they would probably find that, half of their family probably grew up in prison. I mean, and they might not still be like thugs to this day. They could, like I said, I have a murderer in my family who went to prison for a very long time. He is now a pastor. He is now a pastor, and this was somebody when I was growing up on Bloods. Like I said, a majority of my family was Bloods and Crips. The one thing that didn't happen though was, regardless of what our set was, we never we never fought each other. We might have had like such and such, some of our family might have grew up on such and such, block or street or whatever. And okay, most of the people over there is blood, so they might have been drawn to, then like somebody else's kids could have grew up on, this, how it goes. But when it comes to holidays, Christmas, reunions, it's like everybody would have on their own colors. I don't know how many times when I was growing up, somebody would tell me, why you got on what you got on? I'm like, what you mean? I can wear whatever I want. I don't care what the hell you got on, or what, your red, your blue, your what. I don't care. I wear what I want to wear. I go to whoever block I want to go to, So we never had like issues inside the family. And if something happened, I'm telling you, if something happened, my brothers, if they had something going on with somebody, it didn't matter what set the other person was, the rest of the family is coming through. That's just how we are. That's just how we was, and that's how we still are. And we still have people, even though they grown and they got their own kids, they might have grandkids. They still like, okay, what's going on? And they ain't out there rapping like, on Blood, on Crip, on cuz, whatever. But they grew up in that, so it's still like there. But you know what I mean. They're more mature now. They're grown now. But don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on them. Don't push them too far. If everybody put out everybody's business like that, child, it's like, okay. So as far as exposing Seven. Again, we found out she might not be 20 Trey. She might not be Deuce Trey. Some people like, oh, we knew Seven wasn't that young. She don't look like she that young. I can't really tell. Me, I don't. When it comes to judging people's ages, I'm usually wrong. I'll be like, oh, you look 35 and they 47. I'm like, I'm usually wrong. But then they exposed, what else? Well, besides her family and her mom and her auntie, them, the murder people, children and said, stuff like that. That goes on in a lot of people's family. But what did they expose about Seven, really? That she come from a family that, might not be something to brag about. It might not be something to brag about for her. But, every family is different, but every family is the same. Like we're all different, but we're all the same in the same in a certain way. We're all the same in a certain way. And Seven, what I can say is she's standing up in it. She's standing up in it. She's not backing away. She's not shying from it. She ain't about to shut her channel down. She's not about to go hide under a rock because people found out all this information about her family. And when they were talking about, oh, we saw on her aunt's Facebook, Seven had responded to her aunt and she was saying how she, disagree or don't like them or don't kick it with them, or that's like natural. That's like natural. And a lot of people grow up and don't want to discuss how they grew up or who raised them or what demons are in their past. So if they tweak their story a little bit, it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, if my parents and my father was murderers and I moved to another town and they was like, where you from? Who your mama is? Who your daddy is? What stuff like that. I'm sure you probably wouldn't say, oh yeah, whatchamacallit, like okay, let's okay, let's say the big crime bosses, the big, crime bosses out here in the past and still some currently, they the type of families who will brag, okay, yeah, I come from such and such, because they a whole ring of criminals, and if you mess with them, you probably will come up missing within the next 24 hours, or your whole family along with that. But when you're just normal regular people, you're just not out there, oh yeah, this happened and I'm from this state and this city and these are my peoples and whoop whoop whoop. Especially when we know that people can sometimes try to, get all in your personal business and try to find out, what's really with you. And that's one problem a lot of us as content creators have. I don't dox people, and that's just not my forte. Hey Red Gal, hey Miss Naturally Knowles, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in today. I got the phone line still open. The phone ain't shut off yet. If anybody wants to call in and, speak about the 7 Stars BS issue. But I don't feel sorry for Seven. A lot of people is like, I feel sorry for Seven. I feel sorry for Seven. I feel sorry for Seven. I don't feel sorry for Seven, and it's not in the way that you think. Like, it's not in the way where, oh, woe is Seven. Oh, my God, Susie, why'd you do it? Susie. It's not. It's not like that. It's like, I don't feel sorry for her because she has nothing to feel sorry for. She has nothing to feel bad for. You feel me? I that's what I mean when I'm saying I don't feel sorry for her. A lot of people on YouTube be going too far. A lot of people be out there trying to find out where people work, find out where people live, find out who their brother is, their sister and them is, who their mama them is. And, sometimes they release that information out to the public on here and it's like, okay, so you found out I work here. So you found out my mother's name is such and such. So you found out. And now what? And that's why I say I don't feel sorry for Seven, because Seven can hold her own. Seven don't need nobody praying for her. Seven don't need no vigil. She don't need no candles. She don't need no come to Jesus YouTube videos. I mean, this is just another YouTube lesson. It's just another YouTube lesson that, this is like becoming routine in our sector. It's really becoming routine in our sector. Now that is sad. It is sad that it's becoming routine in our sector. I heard Sean Bradley say, though, and I wish I could play his video, but I don't do that because I don't like to stream other people's stuff. I should have wrote down what he said at least. But he has said something about YouTube is coming out with a policy for creator bullying other creators. Something like that. I might not be saying the exact words right, but if you watch Sean, follow Sean Bradley. It was on one of his videos that he did. I think he did 2 videos today. So I think it was the first video he did today. And he was talking about how YouTube is coming up with this policy where if it's like a harassment policy or something like that, because, and I don't know if this might have something to do with the petitions that's often on, people often put on YouTube, or them finding out. That's it. Thank you, Shantastic. Thank you. Content creator harassment. That's it. And I had told him, I said, I'm glad that YouTube is getting stricter with this, because it's like, again, I'm not defending Seven at all. I don't feel sorry for Seven, because Seven has nothing to feel bad for. So your family is effed up. So somebody done killed somebody. A lot of us, including me, have murderers and gang members and drug addicts and alcoholics and all kind of mess in our families. Or at least when we were growing up, when we were younger. I don't feel no shame about anybody that grew up around me, because I love all my folks. Love all my folks. So I don't care if anybody was like, oh yeah, her second, third cousin on her daddy's side did this, that, and the third. And I still love them. Hey, that's their business. What that got to do with me? That has nothing to do with me. And that's like Seven. What does that got to do with her? She didn't grow up killing nobody or, taking advantage of no kids or nothing like that. So, I mean, what did Susie really do? And it's stuff like this that we need the content creator harassment, because when people go out, and by the way, a lot of people are saying, it's public information, it's public knowledge that, Seven was in foster care, or Seven's family did this, that, and the third. Yeah, that might be public knowledge, but again, how was this public knowledge used? The public knowledge was used to bully, shame, and harass. Bully, shame, and harass. Cyberbullying, that is a crime. That is a crime. No matter how you look at it. Now, VS has a court date coming up for doing the same thing, cyberbullying, harassment, to Sean Bradley. Now, y'all saw her on that video where she was like, I didn't open the door. Y'all done came out to my house all these many times. She called the police on the person who's trying to serve her. She didn't get served, but because of the fact that she was live, which was her mistake, she went live telling everybody, oh, they couldn't serve me. He, ha, ha, ha. Y'all can't serve me. Y'all can't serve me. Y'all can't serve me. What was she doing? She was... I mean, she was happy. She was happy that she didn't get served. But because she made that video admitting to the fact that they have been trying to serve them, and she ain't trying to open a door, and she ain't letting nobody in, that she didn't get served. That's all they needed to give Sean a court date. Because of the fact that she was trying to hide from the servers and not answering the door to the servers. So... just because you don't officially get served don't mean that you can't be taken to court. And so now we gotta wait on the court date. But I mean, I'm sure she knows that she has a court date, because everybody in this sector watches everybody. So even if VS don't watch Sean, I'm sure somebody in her, her clique, in her the TSCC, they gonna tell her, girl, you got a court date. Girl, you better find out. Girl. And Wiley, I don't know what's going on with Wiley and VS. I don't know if their little, their beef is real, because, and I said it before, I could have sworn, correct me if I'm wrong though, but I could have sworn that Rico has said in Tracy's live the other day that Wiley's told him that this is fake beef for them to see who can get the most viewers or who can get the most subscribers. So for right now, I'm not believing this beef between Wiley and Susie. I'm not falling for it. I'm not falling for it at all. And you said not according to James Live chat last night. Okay, let me back up. Let me back up. Oh, and again, if any of y'all want to call in, the phone number is right there. 605-475-4074, extension 753359. Now let me read some of the comments. You said they're not friends anymore, typo anymore, not according to James Live last night, and Miss Natural Nolans, not anymore. You know, as far as James and you know what? I honestly, if they're not friends anymore, I honestly couldn't care either way. I'm serious. That specific topic for me, and I done heard people talking about it for months. Like, James ain't talking to Sean. Sean ain't talking to James. James didn't go to Vegas Gate. I'm like, and what's the big freaking deal? I'm like, seriously, I might be in the dark on that a little bit. You know, I've been following both of them for some time, and I'm just like, I don't feel either way about it. I really don't. Just like Wiley and VS, I really could feel either way about it. I really think that Wiley and VS, I think this is just some. I don't think it's real. I don't think the beef is real. I really don't. I really don't. Because if VS was to be like, come back, Wiley, come back, Wiley, come back to me. Remember that song? He would be right on over there. Shoot. I mean, she done furnished his whole apartment, bought that man a car, got him some insurance, got him, not Geico either. I don't think he got Geico. But TNCC done a lot for him. They done bought him TVs. I mean, all kind of stuff. And now they beefing. Like, I don't know. 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 But how do you feel? How do you feel about it, Red Gal? About James and them? How do you feel about it? Because to me, I'm just like, whatever. I'm so used to. And I'm not saying if they fell out or if they fallen out. It's just that it wouldn't even make me any difference. It really wouldn't make me any difference. It's so many people that have friendships on here on YouTube, and when they fall out, it's like, okay. It's like, again, as far as, what was I saying? Again, what I was saying about the doxing. It just seems to be, you know, as far as it seems to be the norm over here. Now, I know a lot of people might be sad about it because they had a great friendship, but I haven't seen the live. I haven't heard what I'm trying to say, James said about Sean or their friendship. I haven't seen it. I haven't watched James in a few days. There was some videos of his that I missed, I think yesterday, that I was going to get back to, but all this other stuff started going on. But, and see, I like both of them. And you know what? Everything has a reason and a season. So, you know, if they're no longer friends, I'm sure there's a reason for that. And, you know, everything has a reason and a season. Hey, Tata for now. Hey, how you doing? Hey, everybody. Tata for now. She's been in here before. She just changed her name. Yeah, I still like them both, too. I love both of their commentary. And they're both funny. I love both of their personalities. So, yeah, I still love them both. And I'll still watch them both. It's kind of like with, it's kind of how people feel with, Tracy and the Passer. Tracy and the passer. You know how they relationship is, and they're not talking to each other right now. A lot of people still likes both. They follow Tracy still. And they follow Jay Wilson still. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm just not that torn, because it's like, okay, if it's meant for them to still be friends, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen naturally. It's gonna happen naturally. So, but yeah, so that's how I feel about that. That's how I feel about that. But yeah, I was on Sean's live earlier, and I, again, back to the harassment policy. I am glad that YouTube has, I mean, I don't know if a lot of people have been in their ear or sending them a lot of emails, or if it's been a lot of complaints. I only know of one. I only know of one petition that was sent out as far as harassing, and that was the one that Sean has started. So I don't know. And then, like, as far as, again, back to friendships, breaking up, like, okay, 5'8", she was cool with all kind of people. Tracy was cool with all kind of people. And it's like, I'm not alarmed anymore if people stop, I don't want to say kicking it, because it's on YouTube, so I don't want to say kicking it, but being having some kind of friendship, some type of YouTube ship. I'm not alarmed anymore when they fall out, because it just happens so much. It just happens so much. And generally speaking, when people who are cool with each other are cool with each other, usually their subscribers are the same, or most of them are the same. Most of their supporters are the same people. So even when they stop being cool with each other, their supporters still are like going back and forth. Whether they're supporting or they're watching from the bushes, they still supporting the channel anyway. Because even if you say you don't support somebody's channel, but you lurking from the bushes, you still getting them a coin by watching their channel. So you still, technically speaking, is supporting their channel. But even still, like, a lot of people, and it'd be funny because people who be in Tracy's chat might be like, Tracy, Jay Wilson's live right now. So that the supporters are still, like, most of them are still the same, and then they'll be in his chat, Jay Wilson, Tracy's live right now. And remember the night when stuff really went down, when it hit the fan? And Jay he was like, every time Tracy going live, I'm going live. And he even did a video to prove. He was like, listen, I'm going to go live. He said, I'm going to go live, and let me know if Tracy goes live. I'm like, Tracy, don't go live. Don't go live. Don't go live. Next thing you know, Tracy went live. I was like, oh my God, that was the funniest stuff ever. And it's like both of them being live at the same time. And so you got to have both your screens open, multiple screens open, so you can watch both of them. I mean, that was funny. That was hilarious. But, a lot of people expected that to come. People thought, James or Jay Wilson, Wilcox, the passer, they thought that, he really didn't, really wasn't as much as a friend to Tracy as Tracy was to him. Regardless, they ain't friends now. Now, that is one friendship or one beef that I can honestly say that I feel is real. Like, this is really real. Some people, you got to get them the side eye, like, okay, is they really fell out? Did is VS and them pulling our leg? Is Wiley pulling our leg? You know, you got to, like, give them the side eye, because a lot of times it's for clicks and views. A lot of people, they fake beefing for clicks and views. Remember that when, who was that with? Larry. Remember Larry Nelson, Jay Wilson, carpet on my walls. I gotta cry sometime. Remember that? Okay, remember when Jay Wilson had told us that him and Larry was going to, like, try to ramp their beef up, or ramp their situation up to seem like they was really beefing? And then they was going to both get online, and they both was going to say, you know, oh, we fooled you. Oh, we tricked you. Oh, but then Larry Nelson let it out the bag. Some people on here just can't hold no water. And that's why you got to be careful who you tell people to, because a lot of people on here can't hold no water. Not at all. Like when VS was saying last night, if I'm going to be demonized, then let me be demonized, because I got this first and I'm putting this out there first. And I don't care who put anything out here next about 7. I put this here first. My people, her research team, you know, got the information first and got it to her first and all this. So she's like, I'm gonna put this information out here. I did it first. So, you know, but then somebody else did put another YouTube video out there and told her to go over and look at it, and she was like, how you just gonna go in over there and just get, I did this 5 hours ago and I did this and that. I think she's trying to live up to her name, honestly. I really think she's trying to live up to her name. Like, people calling her demons, people calling her beasts. When she said, if I'm gonna be demonized, like, I would never want nobody to call me a demon. I would never, I mean, and people call us names all the time. They call Jesus names. They call Jesus a million names. And he was like the most coolest, nicest person on earth. But just because they didn't like what he had to say, he was called a lot of names. So yeah, people gonna call us names from time to time. And, you know, it's like... The way I was raised up around murders and gangbangers and crackheads and drug addicts, words don't mean nothing. Now, if you take them 2 feet and you get to walking and you try to run up on something, hey, then it's no talking at all. But, you know, so people gonna call you names, even if you're the best person, the most sweetest, kindest person that takes care of everybody, give people the last of your money, the clothes off your back. People still gonna talk about you. It's always gonna be some haters out here. But I would never want nobody to think of me as a demon. I don't even want to accept that title. Never. Like, I'm a child of God. I don't care what I've been through, what my situation is. Everything that I've been through, the good and the bad, has made me who I am today. And I think I'm awesome. I think I'm fabulous. No matter what other people think. And you should think that way as well. That you are awesome. That you are fabulous. No matter what kind of upbringing you had. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm going to just tell y'all this little bitty story. It's not really a story, but it's just a comment. One of my sons, he has this friend girl. He don't like us to say girlfriend. He has this friend girl. And one time I had asked him, I was like, why you never invite her over to, you know, when we having get-togethers and when we having cookouts with the fam and all that? He's like, Mom, because they ain't like us. I'm like, what you mean they ain't like us? He said, well, we got thugs in our family. I was like, boy, what you mean? We know how to act around people. He was like, yeah, some of us. But it's like, and I'm not going to lie, I've done that before too. My best friend, when I first brought my best friend to be around my family, like at a cookout or something, I warned her. I said, now, our family is really like, not wild, but they can be on 10, like they can be on 15 the entire engagement, the entire event, but they are the coolest, most down to earth people you could ever meet. They will not harm you. They might be over there talking about blood, no, F you, you know, why they playing they spades or, you know, something like that. You might walk in the house and they be like, what up, Nick? You know, I ain't gonna say the N word, but they gonna be like, what up? And I'm like, you know, you just gotta be like, oh, okay, hey. Hey. But that's what I'm getting at. It's like, we all grew up around certain type of people, and we're not like the most evilest people in the world. We're not horrible people. Like I said, I grew up with a family full of gang members. And a couple of murderers, just like, heck, Seven and a lot of other people. It doesn't make us who we are today. They might still walk around. They might still wear all red. Some of them might still wear all blue. I mean, from the shoestrings to the hat, cocked to the side. They might be in their 30s and 40s, but they got jobs. They got kids. They have families. They have bank accounts. They have, they pay their bills on time. We might be just a little hood. You know, when we all get together, it's like, what up, mom? You know, when you walk through the door, where the drink at? You know, that's just how we are. But, you know, when it comes to going to church or going to work, you would never think that we get rowdy like that. A lot of families are like that. And that's why they say you should never underestimate anybody that you don't know. You should never underestimate anybody that you don't know, because the sweetest person to you at your job, always holding the door for everybody, bringing everybody coffee, bringing everybody donuts. Y'all know I'm a personal custom cake decorator, and I bring cupcakes and cake to work all the time. All the time. But let me tell y'all this. Okay, and a lot of people who don't know me, and they would be like, oh, she's so sweet. And I am sweet, and I'm nice, and I'm kind, and I'm all of that. I'm all of that. But, you know, there's a certain button that can be pushed on every person, and it would just take them back to the streets. And let me tell you this story. One day, I was at work, and it was at the nursing home. And we have like several entrances into the building, and one of the entrances is like the main entrance where everybody comes, you sign in, you know how it is at hospitals and all that kind of stuff. Visitors come through a certain entrance, and all the rest of the entrances are for like doctors, nurses, the workers, the employees. And so I was coming through an employee entrance, and let's see, were they behind me? Yeah, okay. I was coming through the employee entrance, and there was these guys who had came in after me, and one of them was carrying a dog or a puppy. Right, Patrice? Right, Patrice? But that goes for a lot of people. But it was two guys behind me, and one of them was carrying a puppy. And so I'm ahead of them, and being I've been working there for like forever, I've never seen them before, and this is the employee entrance, and they have a dog, and this is like a nursing home, and the only pets that are allowed in the nursing home is people who filled out forms. We got their shot records, we got their rabies, all that kind of stuff. Stuff like that. Because some elderly people, they come to the nursing home and they have a pet. And just like missing their family and friends, they miss their animals too. So a lot of times their kids or their, loved ones will bring their pet in to see them sometime. So I'm up here and I don't recognize these two gentlemen. I say that very loosely. And so I turned around and I said, no, they were in front of me. That's right, they were in front of me. I'm thinking they weren't behind me, they were in front of me. And I turned around and I asked them, I'm like, who are you guys here for? Or something. And they said a name. And I'm like, I don't recognize the name either. So I'm like, dang, are these employees? But it really wasn't like no big deal because they looked harmless. They looked harmless. So it didn't set off no alarm or nothing. And plus I'm following them. So I'm like, they have to go all the way to the front of the building. I have to go all the way to the front of the building. So if they do anything, I can see what they're doing. And I'm trying to make this story short. But once they got like a little ahead of me, I heard one of them say, I don't know who the hell she thinks she is. Why she asking me who I'm here to see? What's her problem? I mean, he was like going off to the other guy, and the other guy was just laughing like, yeah, yeah. You guys are one. You always got these two people that hang out, and one of them always talks stuff, and the other one's like, yeah, yeah. He just co-signing. So I'm up here listening to everything. And they were saying it like they wanted me to hear. But I'm up here like, okay, whatever. So I go up to the front. And they up at the front. And I asked them to go to the front and sign in. They were like, sign in? Sign in for what? And then they still kept talking to each other. I don't know who they was going off. Man, I must have put my stuff down at my desk. And I was all over the top of the desk. Like, I don't know who the F y'all think y'all are or who y'all here to see. But if I ask you to sign in, you're going to sign in. Now, you can either sign in or you can get the hell up out of here. And they was all like, what, man, the administrators come running down the hall because I was loud. I was like, by that time I was irritated. Like, okay, y'all talking all that stuff down the hall while y'all little ways from me. And I'm like, I'm going to let that slide. They young. They obviously stupid, but they young. And so I'm going to let that slide. So, but by the time we got to the front entrance lobby, and they were still acting, they started to act like they were like, I don't know, just ghetto, just super, super ghetto, just talking loud, being crazy and stuff. And I was polite. I was like polite to them. When I asked them to sign in, I was like, could I please get you guys? I said, guys or fellas. So I know I didn't say gentlemen. I was just like, guys or fellas, can I please get you to sign in? And they start coming, I don't know, they start that stuff that they were saying in her. I don't know who she thinks she is, and she ain't gonna have us sign in, and woo 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 woo. Man, I must have went off. I went from 0 to 100 in 2.5 seconds. Because by then, they were outright being disrespectful to me, and I am their elder. And besides that, they weren't even supposed to be there with a dog. And I told them too, and whose dog is that? Do you got papers on that dog? Do we have shots? I was just going off. And all these administrators come running down the hall and stuff. And the main top administrator, the main one that hires, the main one, she comes out, Tanya, what's wrong? What's going on? And I'm like, this fool up in here. I just start going off. At that time, when I was flipping out, my coworkers never saw that side of me. I didn't care. I was like, I will quit and pack my bags and walk all the way back around that hall and go all the way back to my car and drive all the way back home. Because I will not be disrespected by no young hoodlums. No, I won't. I shall not. Not today. No, sir. No, ma'am. So anyway, the administrator, she started asking them the same questions. Like, who are you? Who are you to hear? Whose dog is that? Do we got papers on the dog? And then they want to try to act all nice and stuff, and like they, then all of a sudden, got mature and everything. And they was like, well, we're here to such and such. And they started to go through the cafeteria, or, where all the residents eat and stuff, where street people, visitors, are not supposed to go. And she was trying to tell him, you just can't be walking all through the building like that. When she asks you to sign in, you supposed to sign in. You don't ask, what am I supposed to do that for? Who is you? You visiting our facility. So anyway, once we found out who they were visiting, I called up the girl, and it was a young girl. And I called her up, and I called her to the front of the building, and I told her what just went down. And she ran outside. I guess one of them was her boyfriend. And she ran outside and she was crying and everything. Y'all gonna get me fired. How y'all just gonna come up here and act like that? And whoop, 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 whoop. She came in, apologized, and whoop, 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 whoop. In the end, the administrator said they are no longer allowed on the premises. And that's how that went. But it was like, when I say again, never underestimate somebody, because you don't know their background. You don't know if they cutter, if they're a murderer, if they an ex-gang member, if they just got a tad bit of cray-cray. You never know. At that time, I mean, and I'm not crazy, but I'm one of those people who, I'm like the sweetest person on earth, but then if you push them certain buttons, I'm gonna go off just like the next person. And I was like, after that incident, I'm like, oh my God, should I just go home? Should I just clock back out? Should I just leave? I don't want to be walked out. You know how jobs, when they fire you, they walk you out? Because they don't want you to tear the place up or cuss nobody out or steal no equipment or whatever else they think people are going to do when they fire them. And I'm like, should I just leave now? Because when I say I went from 0 to 100, it was so loud. I was cussing and everything. You talking about who the hell am I? Who the F are y'all? So anyway, bottom line is, please don't underestimate anybody when you do not know their background. That's all I'm gonna say on that note. Hey, 6 or 7. Hey, Patrice. Hey, who else came in? Hey, Nigor. Hey, Anne-Marie. What's up, fam? That's my fam bam right there. Hey, Anne-Marie. How you doing? But yeah, so these YouTube streets, when people try to take stuff off of these YouTube streets, a lot of people on these YouTube streets, they ain't about it. You know what I mean? Some of them are, but a lot of them are not about it. They talk all this stuff, all this rah, whoop, 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 whoop. But if you were to see them in person, they ain't about it. Some people on here are about it. You pop off. That's why a lot of content creators, they just ignore the stuff. Oh yeah, such and such over there said something about you. They said this and that. And a lot of them just, because it's like, okay, I'm not arguing with people. I'm not arguing on no YouTube. I'm not arguing on what I'm trying to say, Facebook, nothing like that. Oh, and Anne-Marie, I was just having a discussion with my peeps about, how certain people might grow up with gang members and, stuff like that in their family, and drug addicts and stuff like that. And they don't necessarily grow up, like a lot of people be talking about generational curses and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people don't grow up acting and doing what a lot of people did around them when they were younger. And then on another hand, people should not underestimate people, because you never know who you messing with. You never know who you messing with. You better be talking on YouTube, going off and stuff, unless somebody catch you somewhere out in public, like at Essence Fest, or somewhere like that, a Taste of Chicago. I'm just naming places that a lot of people go. They be like, ain't that YouTuber on such and such platform that was talking all that stuff, talking about when they see you, what they gonna do, and all this kind of stuff? Yeah, and then you're gonna see if you about it. And the thing about it is, if that was to be me and somebody was to do that to me, yeah, Anne-Marie, you better tell them, shoot. People don't be believing like my background. Like, I mean, Bloods, Crips throughout, gang bangers. And when I say gang bangers, I don't mean people that just be like, oh, I'm in a gang. Yep, I'm in a gang. No, I mean out in the streets, doing street stuff, doing stuff, going in and out of prison, everybody in and out of prison every doggone year. Like, that was our life growing up. But it's like, just because you grew up like that don't make you. That don't make you. Your past do not make you. Yeah, 6 or 7, somebody can get hurt. Like, for real, for real. Somebody get hurt for real, for real. So, yeah, that's, I mean, back to 7 stars and VS. 7 stars and VS. Again, I'm not defending 7. I'm not gonna feel sorry for 7 because 7 can handle 7. 7 can handle 7. And what happened to her over the last 24 hours with people finding out that there's murderers in her family, who did not go to prison, and found out that she witnessed, somebody getting abused, and, witnessed somebody getting murdered or whatnot. That really didn't expose her. And so what about her age? People lie about their age all the time. People lie about their age all the time. I mean, there's certain things that people gonna lie about, or I wouldn't say lie about, because not everybody lies about their age, but some people just omit stuff. So I don't really think 7 was exposed. If anything, I can guarantee you that 7 has probably gained about at least a couple of hundred new subscribers since last night. At least. And now a lot of people is looking at VS like, yep, like VS said, if I'm gonna be demonized, let me be demonized. Some people is like, yep, that's the demon. That's the demon. She's living up to her nickname. She's living up to her nickname. And yeah, again, they might have both done things to people outside of YouTube, but the bottom line here is what VS tried to accomplish, she didn't really accomplish. Shit, 40% of shit, probably like 80, 90%, Patrice. Probably like 80, 90% of us got thugs in the family. And when I say thugs, I mean, when you make a phone call and say, such and such is bothering me, or such and such, somebody did this to me, or somebody did this to me, and you make that phone call, and it ain't nothing but a word, and people will come running. People become running, like driving up. Everybody calling everybody, such and such, we meeting at such and such house. We meeting at such and such house. Nothing but a word. Nothing but a phone call. Or a text message. But yeah, it's crazy. And I'm not nobody on these YouTube streets that's invincible. I'm just like the next person. I work, I got kids. I try to be the best that I can be. And Anne Marie, you said, I know I do. See, fam? They better act like they know. They better act like they know. But yeah, a lot of people, like, they have real life people in their family who don't give a care. They don't care. Anne Marie. Yes, and I don't know if you was here when I told that story about when I had got into it with some girl years ago. And we had fought, and I had won, and her boyfriend at the time was upset because I had won. When I say I won. That's all I'm going to say is the fight was off the chain, and I won. He was upset and he wanted to fight me. Like, how your girlfriend get beat up and you want to fight me as a man? Now I can see if I was a dude and I fought your girl and you coming back like defend your girl. Where he at? Ain't nobody gonna hit my woman. Where he at? No, I'm a female. We we both females, and this was years ago. We was like the same size, and matter of fact, she was a little taller than me. But we was both females, and he wanted to fight me, and he came back banging on my door. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I made one phone call, and I swear on my mother in heaven, one phone call, and the parking lot was full. Cars was wrapped around my apartment building. They come in there. I don't know what happened. I never had a problem with that person ever again. I haven't seen that person ever again, and it's been years and years. And for a long time after that, at least for maybe like a few weeks, I had like a caravan of people to back and forth to work, making sure that dude wasn't going to try some slick stuff on the sneak. And that's why I say you don't never know who you messing with. You don't never know who you messing with. You don't know. And I have been one of those people in them cars going to a call. Like, okay, it's going down. All right, let me get on my tennis shoes. Okay, that was, years ago, and a lot of us was like that. We was out in the street like that. So it's nothing. It's not like it's so abnormal to meet somebody with that kind of upbringing, that kind of background. But again, with most of us, everything that we've been through makes us the way we are today. Like being raised in the hood and being raised in the streets, around gangs and murders and stuff like that, and where everybody in your neighborhood is like, I mean, if you weren't in a gang, I don't know what you were doing back then, because it was like everybody was trying to be with somebody, with a particular crew or with a particular set. But you said with your 3-5, I know that's right, honey. Locked and loaded. But at my age where I am today, a lot of what I've been through has helped to influence my kids. And mind you, both my kids are in college. They were top sports athletes. I mean, great students, academic, athletic, all that. Most of the kids in my generation, like from my age on down, are kids. They are great kids. They college kids. They got good jobs. Not all went to college, but they got a good head on their shoulders. So, I mean, just because you grew up the way you did, or, was influenced by somebody older than you, that don't make you. Some people let other things influence them from the past. Some people just can't stand on their own 2 feet. They can't stand on their own 2 feet and blame stuff on themselves personally. Like, people will be like, oh, my mother was a crackhead. Oh, my mother. So for the rest of their life, they blaming everything. Oh, my mother was a crackhead. Oh, my uncle was this. Oh, my daddy did this. Oh, somebody touched me. Oh, I mean, and they allow that to make them for the rest of their life. And then we have other people who, okay, so this has happened when I was younger. So this is how I'm going to change things now that I'm an adult. This is how I'm going to do with my kids. This is how I'm going to raise my kids. This is how I'm going to, influence my kids to go to college and not have kids, in high school, and not, run the streets and not join the gangs. I mean, when my children, or I should say our children in my generation, our family, when our children listen to our stories, even the funny ones that weren't so funny then, they be like, dang, and you went to jail how long, uncle? And you went to, I mean, it's like, you just learn. Some kids, if you put it in their face, not flashy and not braggish, they can learn from it. But when you putting it in their face all flashy and all braggish, like this is the thing to do, then they might follow in them footsteps, and they be like, well, my mama, my uncle was blood, my daddy was my cousin and was Crips, so you can go through a whole lot growing up, some good and some bad, but it's the way that you present it to your children after you have your children, if they will follow in them same footsteps, or will they take that information and they will try to make the next generation better and grow for the next generation, and then to their kids and their kids and their kids, and by the next thing you know, the next thing you know, it's just a family. Like, you know how people are like, man, your great 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 uncle James and them, or Johnny and them, let me tell you a little story. Long time ago, it'll become one of those things, and they'll look back like, dang, wow, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And on that note, I'm going to end this with this. Life wasn't our decision. It was a gift. We had nothing to do with being born, the when, the where, and the to whom of it. We had nothing to do with what kind of help we would have, or how smart we'd be, or what genetic failings, if any, or the circumstances of our environment, or parental upbringing or lack of, or whether we be failed by disease, or plane crash, or from a drunk driver. We are all merely passengers on this road called life. But we should be forever humble that perhaps we were assigned a better seat on this ride than those less fortunate, and should be forever dedicated to making our lives and the lives of others that we meet who are less fortunate a little more tolerable and a little bit more loving. And that is how we say, thank you, God, for everything that you have brought me through. And that's all I have to say regarding this situation that's been going on in these YouTube streets. And I hope you all have a wonderful day and have a wonderful evening. And as usual, Primetime Squad, y'all know how we do. Stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out. Deuces.